We have one more question here from Light Shadow Onyx, who says, do you think the lightsabers in Kenobi are too bright?
I will say that I haven't noticed it, but I think that you also look at lightsabers a lot harsher than I do.
Yeah.
Because you've spent a lot more time, I think, doing like the roto
hundreds of hours
of it.
I think they're properly bright. If anything, lightsabers weren't bright enough.
Now,
I mean, you got to think, like, when you're filming something, do you want it to look like you filmed it with a camera, or do you want it to look like you
are seeing
it with your eye? That's the most important thing. Like, a lot of people like to say, like, when they're talking about cinematography, it's like, J.J. Abrams has lens flares too much. And it's like, that's a fine criticism, I suppose. But if that's the only thing you're talking about when it comes to his cinematography, you don't know much about cinematography. Like, he's doing that to let you know, like, he's filming this as if it's from a camera.
Yeah.
A lot of Star Wars isn't necessarily like that. But, if a lightsaber is that bright, I mean, it's going to overexpose certain things. And I don't even think it's necessarily the white value that you're hitting against. It's the interactive lighting. It just looks more real, and there's a magic trick there. Because lightsabers didn't look super, super real, this kind of magic facade goes in front of our eyes when we're watching movies. 24 frames a second looks like a movie. It feels like a movie. When you look at 60 frames a second, it's fake. This isn't real.
Sure, yeah.
But it's more true to life. So it's the same thing with the lightsabers. The more real we have that bright prop in their hand that gives off good light and looks like it belongs, the more we deny fantasy and accept reality. But we're not here for reality. We're here for fantasy.
Sure.
So I can understand why Light Shadow Onyx, that might be something like, I think they're too bright. But it's a thing that you, as a moviegoer that's been watching movies for a long time, will have. But future generations probably won't have that problem.
Sure. And if they're using like actual, which I think they are, like interactive lighting blades, like that's the way the light is really going.
It is.
So like it is a natural lighting, and it's not that maybe it's too bright on there, but then putting the little like rotoscoping over top of it too to sell the rest of it.
It does.
Like for me, I don't look at it and be like, it doesn't look. For me, it turns into a lightsaber. Yeah. And I just like that is a lightsaber. The light's reflecting. It's dark. This is stuff that I didn't have in episodes 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Like it's something new, and it's just adding to it for me. And it's like. It's something I didn't realize I was missing before, and I don't really think about it now that I have it either. I probably take it for granted, honestly.
But if you really want to screw up some of like your brain when it comes to lightsaber lighting, and especially the prequels, Episode 3, they started to do interactive digital lighting.
Okay.
Like, if Obi-Wan's holding his lightsaber, they would roto his entire body, and then add like a light value on top of him. But it wouldn't, it wouldn't like go into the crevices of his eyes. It wouldn't go into his beard. It wouldn't go into his hair. It's just a sheen of light that, like, let's say the lightsaber goes from one side of his body to another, then, and you can't see because the camera's not on me, gonk! But, whenever, like, it goes from one side of the body to the other, they would just kind of, like, artificially shift that mask. And if you really pay attention to it, it does not look good. But movie magic, we accept it.
Sure.
Like, you're watching R2, and when you watch R2 in that clip that we saw earlier, like, you can see he came in from this side a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's not, like, we know that he's there because when we watch movies, it's not what's in camera, it's what we're seeing and what we're feeling here.
Okay.
I'm pointing at the wrong thing. Sorry.
What we're feeling.
I really wish Gonk would have went away from me at that point.
Look away somewhere else now.